Hello everyone on YouTube, this is Eric the Cyborg Team Forbidden coming to you with an update for updated deck profile for post-Dark Neostorm. Yes, it's been a very long while since Dark Neostorm dropped, and I've been taking a while to get this deck built back up again because I needed to get the stuff for it, and that took a while too, and plus I've been busy with life. Anyway, this is the update for Super Quantums after 2 years, I believe, about 2 years of it being last updated. And then with them finally getting new spawn Dark Neostorm, I can finally rebuild it to a pretty basic standard of how it should be. Anyway, let's get to it. So, standard lineup, 3 Alphans, 3 blue, 3 green, 3 red, just the essential basic 3 of all of them. To explain what they do, he's basically your rescue rabbit. Technically speaking, he's your rescue rabbit for your deck. You attribute him as cost to reveal 3 different Super Quantum monsters from your deck. Shuffle them up, and the opponent chooses one at random, and the one that gets chosen gets summoned to your field, and the rest will go to the grave, which also trigger other effects. Blue, when she is summoned in general by any means, you search for a Super Quant card from your deck and add it to your hand. And then when she's sent to the graveyard, she's basically Pot of Avarice for 3 Super Quant cards, but you don't draw off of it. So green, he's your additional summon when you normal summon or special summon him. And then when he's sent to the graveyard, discard a Super Quant card to draw a card. And then red, he's your Cyber Dragon. When he's summoned, you can target a Super Quant card in your graveyard and add it back to your hand. When it's sent to the graveyard, you target 1 Super Quant monster in your graveyard besides himself, and you put some of them to your side of the field. So that's the basic original 9. And then the brand new one that came out of Dark Neostorm is the White Lair. He is basically a free summon from the hand by sending a non-light Super Quantum or Super Quant monster from your hand and or field to the graveyard. And when he's summoned, you can send one Super Quant monster from your deck to the graveyard, so he's Foolish Burial. And then he becomes that type and attribute. No, he becomes that attribute and level of whatever you sent. And when he is sent to the graveyard, you get to add little baby Alphan back from either your deck or graveyard back to your hand. So he makes Alphan pretty much searchable and recurable. So that's it for the Super Quant lineup. It's pretty much just 3 of all of them, because that's pretty much how it is for right now. I mean, you could technically take out 1 green layer because he's technically not the best one out of the whole 12, but you run him anyway. And then for my extender plays, the 1 Terratop and the 1 Cyborg. This is not the Brilliant Fusion engine. If you want to see a build with that, let me know down in the comments below. If we can get to 50 likes in the video, I'll do that definitely. Let's get back to it. So, Speedroids, 1 Terratop, 1 Cyborg. Pretty much just to make your Link 2 plays a lot faster. Double Pinkertops. This is mainly a going second deck. Even though you kind of want to establish your Great Madness turn 1, but there will be times where you're not able to fully do that. So I feel like the going second version right now is probably the best unless you're running the Brilliant Fusion engine. And then Triple Ash, because it's the best hand trap right now in this format, in my opinion at least. Those are all the monsters, onto the spells. Triple with the field spell. to remind what it does. You discard a card, target a super quantum, or target one super quantum monster on your field, and you just slap on the appropriate Xyz monster based on its attribute. So this makes pretty much your super quantum into basically Zodiacs. And then second effect is that you send this from your field to the graveyard. You target 3 different super quantal or super quant Xyz monsters from either your field or graveyard. Slap them all together to make your Great Magnus. So this is a 3 staple, no less than that, because this is your main way of bringing out Magnus. And then 2 of the new card, Alpha Call Appeal. When a super quant monster is destroyed by battle, you would summon one super quant Xyz monster from your extra deck, and then you would summon the appropriate monster of that attribute from your deck. So it gives you kind of a board still, and it also helps get out your Xyz a lot faster to make Magnus. One Alpha Strike. I put this back in because with the addition of White Layer, it kind of makes it more valuable to play because you have another valid target for this card's condition. Basically, when you activate it, or in order to activate it, you will need to have 3 different super quantum monsters with different names on your field. And then if you do, it shows back all cards on your opponent's field back to the deck. The only downside is that your opponent gets to summon one monster from their extra deck for free after it. So you would mainly play this against like decks that aren't really heavily reliant on their extra deck, or don't have an extra deck at all. So I have this in here just for Mystic Mind basically, because I have 3, play this, put everything back in their deck, and I just really go for the game. Then Triple Call by the Grave, no explanation needed there. Double Terraforming, again, no explanation needed there. Double Instant for extra extending. E-Telly. I want this card. I definitely want this card back at least to 2. Isn't 2 in the OCG? It's not doing anything there, so I want this to 2. Oh, and it summons Blue Layer from your deck for free. 1 for 1 to summon your Alpha. And then last main deck is Triple Impermanence. I needed a plate of something to put in, so I put in Impermanences. Anyways, on to the extra deck. For the Link monsters, 1 Link Karibo, 1 Beat Cop for your generic Link 2. You have to run a Link 2 effect monster, which I'll explain why right now. Running double of the brand new Super Quant Link. I'm not gonna say his name because his name is super freaking long. But basically, he needs 2 plus effect monsters, including one Super Quant monster, which is why you run a Link 2 effect monster. Because before I had her, I had Lamp Linkus in the deck, and then I realized I can't freaking summon him because Lamp just is not an effect monster. Anyway, to get the brass knuckle on what he does, he in general cannot be destroyed by card effects. And also, if a Super Quant Xyz monster is summoned to where it points to, I draw a card, and that effect is not once per turn. The effect that is once per turn, however, is that if a Super Quant Exceeds monster that it points to is destroyed, I'm able to summon the pilot or whatever the appropriate target is for it, and just summon it back from my deck. So it pretty much replaces what I already had to make it again. All in all, I mean, I would have liked it to be like less or like a Link 2, but this is fine for it already enough as it is. And then one Avermax for Link 2. You can easily make him just use your Blaster Magna and then one of your Super Quant XCs to make into him. And then onto the XCs. One Grand Pulse and the one Ouroboros. Only one of each mainly because the extra deck space is not that high enough for me to put 2 and 2 of each. So I used to sell down on being 1 and 1 of each. Beast Roller for against Salmon Greats or Orchist. Double Magna Liger. He basically just pops monsters by detaching a material. The brand new Luster Rex. He's pretty much a effect veiler. When you detach a material on him, you would detach, target a monster in the field, and negate its effects. And then one Magnus. You only need one because Blue Lair can just shuffle it back into your extra deck anyway. And you're only making one at a time. And then the instant future targets is Thousand Eyes and Invoke Raijin. Thousand Eyes for going second to take any problem card away from your opponent. And then Raijin to pretty much do the same thing, and it's also level 5, so and you can make Magna Liger with that. Anyways, that is my current build for Super Quants. Like I said, if you guys want to see a Brilliant Fusion build of it, 50 likes in the video, or let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell. See you all next time.